What's up, CS students? Mr. Smith back here. Just want to do a quick follow-up video to the while loops. I was going to do them both in one video, but I think it'll be more effective if I split them. So I'm going to talk about for loops. All right, so if you didn't watch it, go back and watch the while loops video because this one's going to be about for loops. So again, this is just kind of a review after Thanksgiving break. So what I'm going to do is start a whole new project, and I'm just going to call this Loops Review Post Break. For loops, I don't know, whatever. It's a long name, but so I'm going to go ahead and just delete all the comments. All right, just to give myself room. You don't have to do this, but it gives me additional room. All right, so what I want to do in this program, and I can actually put this like right here. So this program, the user is going to input a range, and we are going to return the average of all those numbers, all the numbers in the range. All right, so this is just kind of something I thought of while I was sitting here. So the first thing we need to do, because they're going to have to input a range for us, we need an import statement. All right, so java.util.scanner. Again, this is always step one, is to import your scanner. All right, if we were in class right now, I'd say, what is step two? And then somebody would say, create the scanner. Step two is create the scanner. All right, so that's static scanner keyboard equals new scanner system.in. Beautiful. All right, and step three is, of course, step three is prompt the user. All right, so we want to ask them for a range. So let's just say we'll call it max and min. What is the minimum of the range? All right, so I'm actually going to just do a print statement because I want it to all be on the same line. All right, then I need to store that, so I'm going to say int minimum is equal to keyboard.nextInt. All right, so all I'm doing is step four is store input, right? Step four, store input using scanner. All right, so now I need to, same type of thing, prompt them for the maximum. So I'm going to do print again. What is the maximum of the range? And I'm going to store it, int maximum, keyboard.nextInt. All right, so all I've done, just to quickly review, created the scanner. The user is going, I wrote a comment to let you know what it does. Imported scanner, created the scanner, prompt the user for the minimum, stored the minimum, prompt the user for the maximum, stored the maximum. All right, so this is where our for loop to do the average calculation between the min and max. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to start our for loop. All right, if you pop back over to your notes, all right, the for loop has four things. An initial statement that is only executed once. All right, so our initial statement is int I, and in this case, we want I to be equal to our minimum value. All right, because we're going to do the range from minimum to maximum. So our initial statement is at the minimum. All right, and what we're going to check, so part two is a condition that is checked before the iteration of the loop. So what are we checking every time? We're making sure our minimum is less than or equal to our maximum. So we want our minimum to be less than or equal to our maximum, because once we're equal to the max, we want to be done. All right, and then every time we finish, we're going to do I++. All right, because we want to iterate our I. Okay, so it's mad because I called these minimum and max. I'm going to call them min and max just so I don't have to type as much. So that fix that. My apologies. All right, so it's int min and int max. So my for loop, I is equal to the min, it's less than or equal to the max, and we're increasing I every time. All right, actually, you know what? Let's just do it this way. We can just say min. Well, no, I don't want to do. I don't want to confuse y'all yet. All right, so let's leave it like this. But what we're also going to have to do is we're going to have to increase min every time. Or we can just say I is less than. We'll increase min every time. All right, so every time we're doing this, we need to have a total. All right, so to calculate the average, we got to keep adding them up. All right, so that means that we're going to need a variable up here at the top, and it's going to be called total. All right, and every time our loop runs, our total is going to plus equals whatever the minimum is. So we're just going to keep adding whatever. Oh, got to make it 0 at this beginning. We're going to keep adding to it. So the first, let's say it's 4. Then the next time it's 5. Then it would be 4 plus 5, which is 9. And then the next time it's 6, and it'd do 9 plus 6, and then it'd store it into total. So this is going to keep track of the total we need for our average. But then we also need a counter. All right, and the counter is going to be how many total numbers we have. All right, so every time this runs, we can do a counter plus plus, and then we also need to increase minimum. All right, so this loop is just for adding up all the numbers between min and max. And then once that's finished and our loop is done, we need to say that average is equal to total divided by our counter. All right, the average is equal to total divided by our counter. All right, we need to actually make this a double, because if we don't, then we get a decimal, we're going to lose precision. All right, so if we left that as an int, we don't want to do that because we don't want to lose precision. All right, so for instance, let's say that we had our range was minimum is equal to 4, maximum was equal to 10. Right? So that would be 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 10. All right. So that is 9. Oh, this is you know what? I don't get paid enough. 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 10. All right, 49, right? Equal to 49. And our counter here would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 numbers equals to 7. So that would be 49 divided by 7 is equal to 7. So our average is equal to 7. So if our program works right and we do it from 4 to 10, we should get 7. So let me print out the average. All right, final thing is to print out the average. Average of the range would be average. Oh. All right, so I'm going to run this. What is the minimum? 4. What is the maximum? 10. And it prints out 7. Boom! Program works, right? So here our loop. So our loop is doing this step. It's adding up the 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 10 to get 49. And it's also counting how many numbers. So every time the loop ran, we just had a counter to count how many numbers. And then after the loop is done, we do this calculation. Then we just print it. And that's how for loops work. All right, so it's just going to take practice. We're going to do a grade calculator and a jump rope for heart problem in class. And once we finish that, you know, I feel like y'all will be on a better place with this stuff. So as always, guys, let me know if you have any questions, and I look forward to seeing you in class.